We've all waited for this moment for the last year, and now it has arrived. And it's been a very good feeling so far. And at this point, I'm very honored to introduce our distinguished speakers today, who are going to share their experiences and their interactions with Swami. Both of them hail from families that have been very, very deeply devoted to Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And their affiliation with Swami has been since their very, very early life. And this is from early 70s. So you are talking about over 5 decades of close association with Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Sister Sarojini's father, whom we all know, is none other than Professor Anil Kumar, who has actually come to our center and has addressed us and shared his connections with Swami, and I know many of us were amazed to hear his experiences. Professor Anil Kumar is no longer with us, but his memory continues, and his daughter Sarojini makes sure that all the values she learned is communicated to all of us. So we very warmly welcome you today. Sister Sarojini is very deeply committed to children's education. She graduated with a master's in English literature from the Nagarjuna University in Andhra Pradesh. She is a certified Montessori teacher and a guru in the Sri Sathya Sai educational program, and she was very actively involved in teaching children at the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization in Dallas for a very long time. In November 2010, with Swami's permission and blessing, she authored and released a book in Telugu called Sai's Spandana. Brother Shyam is an aeronautical engineer with a bachelor's degree from the Madras Institute of Technology and a master's degree from the Indian Institute of Technology in Madras. He also secured a master's degree in computer science from Texas A&M and is currently serving as an information technology professional. Very honored to have Shyam with us today as well to share his experiences. Brother Shyam had great fortune to serve as Sri Sathya Sai Sevadar in Madras and in Bangalore. He is very, very actively involved in the Sri Sathya Sai organization in the US and has served in several regional leadership roles. Most recently, he served as the Region 10 President of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, and now we welcome him to be part of the Prashanti Dham effort that we are starting. He is going to serve on the Board of Trustees of Prashanti Dham and share his experiences with us. With Bhagwan's grace and blessings, both Sister Sarojini and Brother Shyam have authored 2 books. These include United Souls of America, that was published in 2010, a compilation of wonderful articles written by many devotees in the USA. The second book was written and published in 2015 on Swami's 90th birthday. It is entitled A Personal Journey from I to I, small I to capital I. That's a beautiful title. Both have been very fortunate, and we have been very fortunate. They have been to numerous retreats and shared their experiences and talked to a number of Sai devotees across the country. And we are very blessed to have them today on this eventful Swami's 100th birthday celebration to share their experiences. They were also blessed to be part of 3 pilgrimages to Swami in the year 2003, 2005, and 2008. It is with great pleasure I would like to welcome and have both Shyam and Sarojini come to this podium and share their experiences, and we have a lot of learning to do from them.
Sairam. your brothers and sisters, respected elders, and dear children. Thank you all for inviting us to take part in this blessed, auspicious, and sacred centennial celebrations of our beloved Bhagavan. We are grateful to Bhagavan and thankful to all of you. We're really touched by the devotion and the energy that's generated in the bhajans. Thank you so much. I was praying to Swami to show me or give me some pointers so I could share with all of you. And I was reading a book, and in that I came across a poem that is written by Swami himself. And he talks about his task, his vow, his duties, and the purpose of his avatar. And that is the message in that poem. Many of us have heard it. But when I read it on that day, I was deeply touched by the essence. And mind you, Bhagavan was 20 years old when he's written that poem. It was in the year 1947. He has included this poem and sent it to his older brother. I thought it is worth reading, remembering, and sharing. And he says, Akhila manavula kananda managurchi rakshinchuchundute diksha naku. It is my task to foster all mankind and to shower bliss or ananda in their lives. Sanmargamunu veedi cheriyinchu varala patti kaapadute vratamu naku. It is my vow to bring people that have gone astray to the straight path and to goodness and save their lives. Bida sadalakaina penubada tolaginchi lemuni baapute prema naku. He says he's got this dear work where he removes the difficulties and suffering of the needy and the helpless and grant them what they lack. Manchi cheddalu kuda manasulo samamuga bhavinchuchundute bhakti naku. Bhagavan says that he has a definition for this word devotion, where he expects his devotees to maintain fortitude, balance, equanimity, samatva during the ups and downs of life. Anaga perundi na anda nalaruvari nennatiki maruvani vada nannamata, which means whoever approaches me for help, whoever prays to me and adores me, I never give up on them. Such powerful assurance Bhagavan has given to the entire world. And so what can we give back to Bhagavan, being his devotees, if we can go deep into his teachings, assimilate them, and practice them in our day-to-day lives, and offer our sadhana at his lotus feet? That would be the befitting gift that we can give it to our beloved Swami. Swami says, in this spiritual path, everything starts with faith. So that's the first step. He says, it is on faith we build our lives. Faith is having total trust in God. And patience is faith in action. And Swami says there are these people that have mastered Vedas and Puranas, and there are others that are experts in sciences, history, arts, and so on. And they have accumulated a lot of knowledge. But if there is lack of faith, all of this knowledge amounts to intellectual exercise. It is of no use. And Swami talks about the cosmos. He says, with your physical eye, with your human eye and your human brain or mind, one can never understand the power of divinity. You need to have faith. You have to have that inner eye to recognize his presence and his power. He says when you look at the stars at night, they are beautifully aligned. Millions of stars are shining there. And when you observe this wind, it blows so gently, offering comfort to humanity. And when you cannot even notice the way earth is rotating without any help. Did you pay attention to those? It is due to the power of divine, our Bhagavan. Creation continues to exist. So Swami says it is the divine power or divine presence that is working from being behind the screen. So the unseen power is supporting the seen. Swami says in order to be deeply rooted in this faith, in to be centered in God, we have to do Namasmarana. That's what we all did now. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam, Kalau Naschaiva, Naschaiva, Naschaiva Gatiranyatha. It is only the name of God that is a refuge for us in this Kali age. Sarvada, always. Sarva Kaleshu, at all times. Sarvatra, everywhere. Hari Chintanam. Chant the name of Hari, our God. And Bhagavan says when we continue to immerse ourselves in chanting the name of the Lord by saying it or to Likita Japam or to Japa, you are in sync or tuned with the divine and you are inviting His grace and guidance into your life. And when we do this group chanting, group singing, group sadhana, we are contributing to the well-being of our surroundings, our neighborhoods, and the society. So while chanting His name and taking part in service activities as we move forward in this spiritual journey, Bhagavan gently cautions us that we may come across setbacks, disappointments, roadblocks, difficulties, obstacles, hindrances, but don't get disappointed with that. Don't look back. You keep going in this spiritual path or sadhana marga by holding on to Bhagavan's feet. As He's there to look after us. And this path is very much necessary. Nobody is excluded from these experiences, right? So we have to follow Him. It will be hard, but you have to hold on. Swami gives a beautiful example. He says, you take this raw gold and give it to a goldsmith and you ask him to prepare a beautiful necklace. So what does he do? He just throws into the fire and he hammers it. And we can't interrupt in the middle. So at the end of the processing, he just prepares this beautiful necklace. And Swami shares another example. He says there is this rock that's been there on the side of the road, nobody even cared for it. Some children would play on it. And when a sculptor saw that rock, he just brought it out and he started working on it. Initially, he chiseled away a lot of pieces that surrounded the rock. And within no time, there emerged a beautiful Krishna idol in all its glory. So the Krishna Bhaktas saw this beautiful idol and they installed him in the temple. And soon the idol started receiving devotion, worship, and prayers and aratis and naivedyams and prasadams and so on. So similarly, Bhagavan says when you are walking with God or you are in the path journey towards God, you are bound to experience these twists and turns. And we cannot say, why me, Swami? And this transformation we can observe in ourselves. There is this transformation from unhewn self to the radiant self will be happening. And Bhagavan, at the end, being our master, He transforms us, changes us into His masterpieces and accepts us as His worthy tools so we can take part as sevaks or tools in His divine mission. Now I would like to share a couple of incidents that took place in our lives in the early 90s when we moved to the United States. So my husband was very busily engaged in Swami's activities in Vrindavan and prior to that in Chennai, Seva. So our life revolved around Bhagavan. All the weekends we were tied up, we would go to Vrindavan and he was in Sevadal. And Swami used to visit Vrindavan as well. So we would go to Puttaparthi, Swami is there and we have that access, and if there is any problem, we'll give him a letter. If we are fortunate, he would talk to us. He would take care of our problems, right? He's there. Maybe we would have taken him for granted. But once we've come here, there is no physical presence of Swami. We had to depend on the formless nature of Swami. So my husband came on a student visa, and myself and our young son, both of us were on dependent visas. Life was not easy. It is like any other international student, right? It was difficult. And we were separated from Swami. That feeling was there, as if we were completely away from Swami. And we wanted to see Bhagavan's presence in everyone that we met on the campus. We were fish out of water. We didn't know whom to ask for help. And he was overqualified, so he didn't get a part-time job. And we took a huge loan, student loan. So this was our scenario at that time. Mind you, we would do bhajans morning and evening. And we are only thinking about Swami, his glory, and we take long walks on campus thinking about Swami, his love. I don't think we've done that when we were in India, no. So here we were immersed in Bhagavan. And Shyam used to pack his bags every weekend. He will say, when an opportunity comes and things are not working out, we'll pay the loan and we'll go back to India, we'll be closer to Swami. I don't think we should live here. This is not the place for us. So each weekend, this was his ritual. He'd pack his bags, and then I think that gave him a confidence that we will be going back eventually to India. So one Saturday morning again, he was so depressed. He kept telling me that, I feel suffocated here. We have to go back to India. We have to go to Swami. I said, we've taken his blessings and we've come here. We've come on a purpose. We cannot just let that go away. Then he didn't want to talk to me. So I picked up the Satcharita and opened a page randomly. There, Shirdi Sai says, you can never be away from your Guru. So I showed it to Shyam. He said, no, I don't believe. I respect it, but I want to see Bhagavan right here and now. Then only I'll know for sure that we are under his protection. So I didn't know what else to do, and I was praying to Swami to change his mood. We just bought a TV a couple of days ago. It was a simple TV, and I took the remote and I turned on the TV. Then we were blown away by what we have seen on the TV screen. There appeared Swami. Swami was giving darshan in Vrindavan. That's where we came from. And he was gently coming from the Trayi Mandir, and he walked to the Sai Ram Sher, and he was talking to devotees. He was giving vibhuti, and he invited people for interviews, and he gently returned back to Trayi Mandir. When we saw Bhagavan in front of our eyes, tears cascaded down our cheeks, and we were so grateful and thankful to Bhagavan. And I tell you that we were the newbies, fresh on the boat. We don't have any information about the channels here. I just turned it on. So his mind will be diverted. This clearly tells us that wherever we are, distance is no barrier for Bhagavan. And so after Swami's darshan in our small apartment on university campus, things have improved. He's got a part-time job and we were fine. And he's got a full-time job in Richardson, Texas. So we moved and we settled into a 2-bedroom apartment here. And we came to know of a nearby Sai Center. Our son was enrolled there. Both of us were taking part in bhajans and in sevas. And though we were surrounded by a lot of uncertainties, but there's this hope that we are going to the bhajans. We are taking part in seva, and we are surrounded by such lovely like-minded satsang devotees. So that gave us a lot of assurance. He was in the last semester, so he was going to college and then coming back and working full-time. And even before we took a deep breath of relief, there came another heavy-duty issue. Shyam comes home one day morning, he says, that, oh, I don't think I can work here anymore. The manager told us that there is only 3 weeks, we have to look for jobs. The employees are, were shared this news in the morning. I thought, Swami, again, what do we do now, Swami? Where do you want us to go? And then Shyam says, you should go back to India with our son. When I get a stable job, you come back. I said, no matter what, I am not going to move. Swami told us that he'll take care of us with his divine blessings. We've come here, so I will be here, I said. And he didn't have to say anything. He said, okay, but we are going to have some challenges now, so you have to bear with that. So he was trying for jobs and desperately we were seeking his help. And one morning I prayed to Swami. I would have long walks and then I would be talking. I had these conversations with Swami. I would plead him, I request him, I talk to him, I write letters and keep it in the puja area in the apartment. I said, Bhagavan, do you remember us in your heart? If you really remembered us, could you please show me a sign by the end of the day? And then later on I got busy with my household chores and I forgot about that prayer. By the end of the day, we get a phone call from India. And it was so difficult for us to make phone calls to India in the 90s. And so we didn't call anybody. So my father was on the phone. He said, I am in Vrindavan. I came to have Swami's darshan. As I was about to leave, Swami asked me to come inside. And he asked me, how is Shyam doing? How is your daughter doing? How is your grandson doing? And he wanted my father to give his blessings to us, and he created Vibhuti and gave it to my father. And he asked him to mail it immediately. So my father asked, is everything okay? I said, yes, everything is fine. This is how Swami proved his omnipresence and he came to our rescue. And that is why we call him Prema Avatari, Lord of Compassion. And love. I'd like to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. I'd like to end this session with a prayer to Swami. The light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God protects me, the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. Thank you again. Sai Ram.
పరమ పురుషుడు ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచను నాడు పేదకు చేల బ్రోవ వేద చరితుడు ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచను నాడు ధ్రువ కుమారుని సాక వైకుంఠవాసి ఆ గుణంబె గణించి అవతరించెను ఆర్త జననాథుడు అనాథనాథుడు శ్రీ సత్య సాయినాథు శ్రీనాథు శ్రీ సత్య సాయినాథు శ్రీనాథు లోకనాథు సచ్చిదానందమూర్తి పుటపర్తి షట్చక్రవర్తి సచ్చిదానందమూర్తి పుటపర్తి షట్చక్రవర్తి. Offering my loving salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord Sai on this auspicious centenary birth anniversary of the Lord, we recall what he said about himself. He is the very same Lord who came eons ago to the aid of Prahalada. He came also to the aid of Dhruva and Kuchela in various times. He has also come to the aid of these Prahaladas and Dhruvas and all of us who are seekers at his door. That same Swami who came then has come again as the Lord of Lords, the sovereign emperor of Puttaparthi, and in fact of each one of our hearts. We are so blessed. Well, you don't have to take only my word or Swami's word for that, including, you must have heard of Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo, the sage from Pondicherry, On the 24th of November 1926, he announced to his disciples and followers that the Krishna consciousness has descended into the physical. And this was on the 24th, and he said it has descended. And Swami took birth on the 23rd of November. So this is an independent statement. And this is recorded in their system. It's not as though it's coming from any Satyasai organization. It is coming from their side. So this is the beautiful Swami that we are privileged to be contemporaries of. We all heard of the previous avatars of the Lord, like Rama, Krishna, and many others. We have read about them, we have heard about them. We admired the gopis and gopalas at their good fortune, or the vanaras in the times of Rama. Well, we have been gifted that same opportunity now. And with full awareness of it. See, it's not that we didn't know it. We know it, we are enjoying it, we are benefiting from it. 1,000 years from now, somebody will say, there was the Satyasai avatar, and he had established an organization. As Swami said, it's the first time in the history of any avatar that an organization has been set up. And conferences have been conducted. And these sort of things has never happened before in any avatar's time. And another unique factor that Swami said was, in previous avatars, they came with a particular weapon. Rama, we say Kodanda Rama. And Krishna with a Sudarshan Chakra. Like that. Because he said, Swami said, in those days, the evil or the bad could be identified with particular individuals. But he said, in this Kali Yuga, if I come with that same weaponry to eliminate people, who will be left behind? Because there is not, evil or bad is not identified with one person. It is permeated in everyone. In everyone you have some good and not so good. So Swami said, I have come uniquely with a different weapon, the weapon of love. To transform, not to annihilate, to reform, not to reject. That's what Sarojini said a few minutes ago, the 4 vows or tasks and everything. He said, I even gathered those who are straight from the straight path back onto myself, onto the royal path. Now remember, of course we have heard in the Bhagavad Gita that Lord said that I will come whenever there is a decline of dharma, yada yada hi dharmasya, and so on. So he has come now. But remember, for him it's a big sacrifice, in my opinion at least. Of course, Swami will never say that. In my personal opinion, it's a big sacrifice to come as a human form. And in case you don't believe me, just think, when he was a little young boy, when he declared that, he was Sai Baba, he was subjected to all sorts of, extremes. Like they cut his hair, they shaved his head, and they made an X on his head, and they put all sorts of chemicals in that. And if that was not enough, they put chemicals in his eyes, so that it all got swollen. Now just imagine. And then somebody wanted to test whether he's really God or not, so that lovely lady gave him poisoned vadas to eat, and all sorts of stuff, I'm saying, seriously, if this is not sacrifice, then what is? You're going through all of these things. Why? Not for his sake, for our sake, right? To uplift us, so that we may walk on the right path. Since there are a lot of children here and young adults and others, it may be just appropriate to share a few things about Swami at different times. If you look at it, Swami as a young boy, he started the Pandari Bhajan group. We all know that. But why I'm mentioning that is because we had some beautiful bhajans this morning by the children. And truly, you all are continuing the tradition of the Pandari Bhajan in this Kali Yuga, in these times also, 10,000 miles across the ocean. Thank you so much for all that beautiful thing. And then Swami, when he was just a lad of 7, we all know that he wrote that Cheppinattu Chestara, that drama, meaning do acts follow the words, do deeds follow the words. Now, again, the SSC or Balikas program is so good. Once, a few years ago, we were invited to share on New Year's Eve, like, not New Year's Eve, when it was becoming New Year, like past midnight, just at midnight. So I was asked to share a few words. And I said, yes, we should all have some new resolution. We should, go to the gym and exercise and all those things. Then just as we finished and we were going towards our car to get in and come home, even when the host was right behind me, my youngest son, he said, Dad, you're a hypocrite. So I said, oh, what's that? That's pretty cool. So yeah, why did you say that? He said, Dad, you said that we should go to the gym. I have never seen you exercise. And then I said, you're right. But then, because of age and experience, I told Raja, what I told was what we should do. I didn't say what I have done. So, of course, but I knew what he said is right. And then I started exercising to some extent at least, yoga and whatever. So what I'm saying is, Cheppinattu Chestara is being followed by our children. And that's why this EHV program or the SSC program is the transformative program that Bhagavan has given for the age. Because children are those beautiful buds or flowers in his garden and they are blossoming. That's why it was called Balukas in India, Bal Vikas. It is the expansion, the blossoming of the child. Talking about youth, in my youthful days, I came to Swami, but my ways were a little off track. Not terribly off track, a little off track. But Swami's line is very narrow. You walk, in the spiritual path, you have to walk a narrow path, and it's a solitary path. You may have a lot of people with you, but yet it is a solitary journey. You have to walk it alone. You may walk in a crowd, but still you have to walk alone. So Swami told me a couple of times that, hey, you're not doing the right thing. So I tried to fix myself. And then again I drifted. Then again he told me you're not doing the right thing. So again I came back. For some time I was okay, then again I drifted. Then third time he told me, Nenu anni chustunanu. He said, I'm seeing and watching everything. By that time, he had given me that freedom. So I told him, in that youthful freedom, I said, Swami chustunaru, em chestunaru. I said, Swami, you are seeing, but what are you doing about it? Meaning, I gave up on myself and I said, Swami, you need to bail me out. And after I said that, I thought, oh, I'm in deep trouble now. But Swami kept quiet, he didn't say anything. But after that, he took me very close to himself. He gave me a lot of love. He showered a lot of love on me. He gave me many opportunities, many interviews, many gifts. So whenever you think that, hey, somebody is so fortunate, they are getting all these interviews and gifts and all that. No. They are the ICU patients. They need intensive care of the Lord so that they don't drift away. Whereas those who get no attention from the Lord, they are the healthy ones. Swami knows you are safe, everything is fine. So you may say, Shyam, you are saying this because you got some opportunities, you're just trying to put some balm on us. I said, no, not at all. I ask you, how many interviews did Ramana Maharshi get? Tell me. 0. How many Pada Namaskarams did Ramana Maharshi get? 0. He's an enlightened being. Okay, we do so many sevas. Was Mother Teresa any service coordinator anywhere? No. She got the grace of the Lord Jesus. Was Hanuman devotional coordinator anywhere? No. They got the grace of the Lord. So, I speak the truth. If you have not got any opportunity with the Lord, know that you are healthy. Okay? Now, having said this, Swami is very keen that we follow the right path. So once he gave me an interview along with my family, and he took me to the cleaners in front of my parents. He told me, oh, మీ అబ్బాయి సైకిల్ వెళ్తూ ఉంటాడు కాలేజ్కి, ఇక్కడ అక్కడ చూస్తూ ఉంటాడు, ఇక్కడ ఈ పోస్టర్స్ ఉంటాయి, సినిమా పోస్టర్స్, అక్కడ చూస్తే ముందు గుద్దుకుంటాడు. Swami is saying, your son, he sees this way and that way when he goes on the bicycle to college. There are the cinema posters, he looks at them. If he looks at them, he'll crash into somebody in front. ఇలాగే ఉండాల్సింది. Like this, he gave me a long lecture and I was like, oh, Hari Om, when will the interview be over? I was waiting. Okay. But then at the end of it, Swami is so kind and I was crying. Because, my parents are wondering, I thought we raised a good boy. What is this? And I was crying. And then Swami, out of his compassion, he waved his hand and materialized a watch. And he put it on my wrist and said, watch and TNT. Time చూపిస్తుంది Swami. It shows the time. అది కాదు, స్పెల్లింగ్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఇస్ ద స్పెల్లింగ్? WATCH Swami. అదే. W అంటే watch your words. A అంటే watch your actions. T means watch your thoughts. C means watch your character. H means watch your heart. With that he said, this is the message he gave me. So what happened was, then after this he gives you the grace, then he watches whether you respond or not. And if you don't respond, he has no compunction in putting you in cold storage. Okay, he can put you in the doghouse very easily. If you don't listen, he takes you close, he gives you the grace, but he expects the transformation. He lalana, palana, will all happen. After that, sikshana will come. Okay? He cajoles you, caresses you, takes you towards him. But if you still are little flaky, then comes the hammer. And when comes the hammer, it hurts. Sarojini talked about chisel, but chisel needs a hammer. Whack! And boom, one piece goes flying off. That time you realize, ouch, Swami, that hurts. Then he hits you, ouch, Swami, that hurts. But remember, he's shaping the idol. She just talked about that. So it hurts when he's shaping you. When people feel very excited when he says Bangaru. But actually that's code language for now I'll put you in the heat treatment. Okay? Bangaru is what? Gold. Gold, if you ask our sisters here, they don't just like gold, they like gold ornament. But how does gold ornament happen? Swami says, first you have to put it in the heat, you have to remove all the impurities, then you have to shape it, you have to hammer it, and all of that stuff. And then it becomes a beautiful ornament. But nobody ever asks the gold how it feels when it goes through the process. They only appreciate the final thing. So this is what Swami does with the youth. That's why I said I've set up these institutions, educational institutions. People ask me, Swami was saying, why don't you only teach about Vedas or this or that, spiritual things? And he says like this, he says like I am like Mother Yashoda. Krishna there are a lot of complaints on Krishna that he is eating the butter and other things from all the Gopika's homes. So she has to punish him or correct him. So what does she do? She offers him a bowl of butter. So Krishna comes running, and then as she comes near, she keeps it down, holds him, and she brings out the stick from behind. Okay, to give him the treatment. So also Swami said, I give you this worldly education of these bachelor's, master's, PhD program and all that, so that you come attracted by that, your parents send you here, and then I give you the spiritual thing. This is how he has been reforming the youth, okay? And he reformed us as well, in our own way. So one incident, Sarojini said that when Swami was 20 years old, he wrote a beautiful letter, okay, to his brother and all that. Now when I was around 20-ish, okay, 23-ish, I had this opportunity of serving during the Balikas conference, International Balikas conference in 83 in Puttaparthi. So I was a Sevadal then, so I was asked to serve in the kitchen, one of the temporary kitchens there. So we were all very busy and all. Just in the lead up to the conference, Swami gave a talk in which he said, oh, there are a lot of people, they come to me and they act as though they are so devoted and they do all things in front of me like that. But when their wishes are not fulfilled, they behave differently and then they go away and all that. So he said, they do mono acting. Means they act one way in front of me and then away from me they do a different role. So he said, but I know that they are doing mono acting. So when they do mono acting, I do mauna acting. Means I keep silent. So those days Swami was giving me a lot of opportunities and he was talking to me quite a bit. But then when I came to Puttaparthi and in a lead up to that, he was not talking to me. And then he gives this discourse. And I'm like, oh, I was feeling bad. And I thought, Swami, I have a lot of flaws. I'm not perfect by any means. You know that, I know that. My family knows it very well. So, but one thing I can tell you, Swami, with my hand on my heart, I don't do one thing in front of you and one thing behind you. That accusation does not stick to me because I am not that, I know from within. But yet you made that statement. So maybe I may be wrong, you may be right. But Swami, still deep within me, I know that I am not that type. So then I resolved in my heart and mind, Swami, if I am not that type of person, you must talk to me before the year is out. This was in December, middle of December. You must talk to me before the year is out. And then I was doing my work in the canteen. I was like in charge of one of the temporary canteens there. And Swami would come there in his car. I had the opportunity of opening his door. He'll get down and visit the place and all those things. But yet he completely ignored me. Okay? Probably this chair may feel better than me. Okay? This chair or this mic may feel better than me. I'm standing right next to Swami. I could be a pillar or a post. I don't exist in his vision. So he was putting me through that treatment. And then I reflected on it. So what did I do wrong? Then I saw that I was in my youthful enthusiasm. I was giving people instructions left and right. Do this, do that. We have to send food to the hostel, college. We have to do this, do that. Like that I was giving instructions. But I was not doing anything. I became a maestri. So when you become a maestri, Swami will do istri. So he did istri to me. And he completely squashed me. Okay? Swami doesn't want maestris. He wants actual active workers. Humble, devout, egoless. So it went on for some time. Then I realized, okay, probably this is the mistake I made. Because I was asking, did I tell something wrong to somebody? Did I hurt somebody's feelings? So I was going through my checklist. Nothing seemed to be there, but something is going. These facts and actions are not matching here. So anyway, then I forgot my thing. I said, the best way to drown your misery is to get into seva. Just FYI, in case you didn't know. You will not get into any self-pity. You will lose yourself in the joy of serving. There is so much joy in the act of serving that you will forget all about your petty little problems, the promotion that you didn't get, or somebody didn't greet you, or somebody sent you a little meme or meme or trolled you or something. Don't bother about all that. You just do your thing. So I got into work. Then one day what happened was, Swami was going to the Hillview Stadium. They were watching one big dance program going on there. It's a big production. Okay? And we were getting ready in a small matador van. We were taking food to another place or keeping it ready because as soon as the program is over, they'll come and the children and all need the food. But then they said Swami's car is coming, so they asked us to stop there. So we got down and we were all standing in a row alongside the van. This is near the Gopuram in Puttaparthi, if you remember. As Swami comes out of the driveway from the Gopuram, he takes a sharp right to go back towards the hospital side. So his car has to come almost to a dead stop when it turns over there because it is so slow. My brothers were all lined up and I was lying at the end of it. And then Swami was slowly turning his head and watching each one of us. I was thinking, Swami, please don't look in my direction. You are going to be having a grumpy face when you look this side. You are so annoyed with me. Don't even bother looking there. You stop with the person in front of me, that's enough. And then he went on looking, and then when he saw me, he gave a big smile. I was like, oh, this is something unexpected. And then I noticed that while he smiled, my white dress was completely dirty. Okay? I had actually got my hands soiled. I got into the weeds, I got into the trenches of the work. And Swami was pleased with that. Then he went away, and then all this happened. So one day, suddenly I was summoned. My convener, Sevadal convener, comes running to me, and he says, oh, that time there was one thing called as World Council, and the vice chairman was Mr. V. Srinivasan. Okay? And Mr. Srinivasan is calling you. I said, I'm in deep trouble here. Somebody must have complained to him that food did not reach in time, or it was not sufficient, or something happened. So I was going through my mental checklist. Where did I mess up? But when I go and present myself to him at his office, he looked at me from top to bottom. I was fully black and white, literally black and white. So then he said, Shyam, do you have a pair of whites? He asked. I said, yes. He said, go and change and go to the mandir. He said, what should I do there, sir? Go to the mandir. That's how instructions are back then. So I simply went to my shed, one last pair of whites which I had, I wore that, and I went to the shed. I went to the mandir. As soon as I went to the mandir, the Sai brother came and told me, hey, here's this box. It has got these prints. You know, in the mandir you have the altar inside the Prashanti mandir. Altar, one side Shirdi Baba, one side Satya Sai, in the middle you have the Ganesha or Shirdi Baba idol, you know. So that picture had been freshly printed that time. And they were all stacked up in that box, in the cardboard box. He said, when Swami walks, just follow him and he will distribute them to the thing. I said, okay. No time to think. You have to just go. You are like an automation at that time. So I just took the box and I'm walking. Swami is walking in front. I'm walking right behind him. And I'm giving him these things. And they're very slippery, fresh prints, glossy prints. They're just sliding out of your hand. I'm already in bad, not in good books of Swami. I don't want to drop it and make a mess there and get into trouble. So I'm sweating bullets actually while I'm giving it to him. And Swami is distributing them and then he's waiting. He's again distributing, then he's waiting. The third time he said, Emi pisnari lagistunavu. Why are you giving me in such a miserly manner? Give me more. He said. So then I gave, because he's giving so fast. And it was hard to cope up with him. Anyway, finished that. Then we came to the Purnachandra auditorium. Swami also came there. Then I was in the green room at the back there. Then Swami called one of the elders there. And then the elder is so close to Swami. They eat, dine, everything with Swami. But Swami, they were like a triangle here, 1 foot apart. Swami is telling me in Telugu, itanto cheppu, saris pre-sevadal pillaki kaadu, gurul matrame. So he's telling, then I told him, sir, he's my boss. Boss is boss is boss. And I'm trying to tell him, sir, Swami is telling that these saris are meant only for the gurus, not for the pre-sevadal girls. Okay, and he's very humble, that man. Yes, Baba. He didn't think, what is this lowly Sevadal guy telling me? And remember, he dines with Swami, he walks with Swami, he travels with Swami in the car, everything. Okay, and I'm trying to do this translation here for them. Then he goes and they finish. Then everything's over, then I go back to my shed and I'm just relaxing. And then I realize it was the 31st of December. In over 10,000 delegates. Okay? There were over 10,000 delegates, okay? And we are Sevadal, we are not in the SSC, Balvikas or the Gurus or anything. We are just there to give food to them or take away the empty vessels. So we have nothing to do with the program. We are not any delegates, we are not any coordinators, nothing. I'm somewhere far flung. From somewhere far flung, he orchestrated the whole thing and he brought. What I want to say is, your genuine prayer will never go unanswered. You don't worry how it will happen. That is not for you to worry how. That's his job. Your job is only to pray or ask and it shall be given. Ask and it shall be given. Knock and the door shall open. Is not just biblical saying, it is reality. It is truth. It happens. He is a great exemplar of that. And I want to tell you a few more incidents of what Swami expects from us. Okay? We have all heard, of course, of his magnificent projects and all of these things. You know, when you talk of the first he started, first thing, one beautiful thing. The first college that Swami started was the women's college. Let me talk to my sisters here. The reason he started that was because he knows that if the woman is the light, the pillar of the family. Okay? And if the woman of the house is doing well in all respects, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, every way, she's doing well, then that family will do really well. Swami has often told us, this I say sincerely, I'm saying that Swami has often told us that the house in which a woman sheds tears is hell. It is not a heaven at all. Whereas if the woman of the house is happy, that will be heaven itself. Therefore, he said, always respect women. Treat them well. And in order to do that, that's why he started the Ladies' Day program. And back in the 90s, on the November 19th. And his point was, how can you neglect or ignore half of mankind? It is so stupid to do that. So he's very kind, and Swami has often said, he said, I have so many devotees, they have come. Okay, but first the wife has come. It has happened even in the case of Anil Kumar, his Swami said. His wife first came, then only Anil Kumar came. That's how it happened. Then Swami said that people think wife is an acronym for worries invited forever, but Swami says it is wisdom invited forever. And he said, many times he has told these things, and he said, okay, Shivaji was great only because of his mother, Jijabai. Gandhi became a Mahatma because of Putli Bai. So and so, he narrated so many cases. And why is that? He said because of a proper orientation at home by the women folk. So Swami is very insistent on that. And therefore, at his prompting, it has been shared now. Swami always wants us to work with unity. In the organization, there may be opportunities where we have differing opinions. And I'll tell you one case where I was put through the grinder. Okay? In Vrindavan, once after Swami told me, I want you to stand near the gate. Near the gate. There are two gates that open as soon as Swami comes out of on the main driveway from the mandir. I want you to stand there on duty. I said, Swami, everybody gets by rotation, Swami, so I cannot stand there always. No, I am telling you, you stand there. Then 1 or 2 days I didn't go there. I was somewhere else. I was near the hostel somewhere. Then he called me. He said, hey, I told you to stand near the gate. Why are you standing here? I said, Swami, you have told me so many things. Did I follow those immediately? Just because you are giving me a good place, now should I follow that immediately? He said, hey, he said, you talk well, go there. Then I went there. Then I said, then I was standing there. One day I stood, then next day again I came because my Swami told. It went on 2-3 days. One of our leaders, he saw me standing there, and we rotate actually, so that's the rule. But I'm not rotating out, I was just standing there. So he told me, Shyam, why are you standing here? I said, sir, Swami told me to stand. He said, but Swami didn't tell me that you should stand here. I said, sir, if you want, I'll ask Swami. You can sort of, no. Before that, if he sends me out, there's no conversation left here. Okay, he'll ask me, why did that fellow stand there? And I said, so then what do we do now? Okay, when Swami comes, as soon as he comes, we both will approach him and I'll tell him, no, don't, you want to get me in further trouble, he asked. And I said, then sir, what is the solution now? The solution is you ship yourself out of here. I said, no sir, but he told me this. So now, one side Swami is telling me this, one side this person is telling me this. I don't know what to do. So, but this man then he thought of one thing. As soon as Swami opens the Trai door and he's coming out, he would just send me on a mission. Shyam, we need garland for Krishna idol, go and get it. So by the time I go, Swami will come here. By the time I come here, I cannot come back. So everybody is happy now. He is happy that he is answerable to the rest of the people and all this. I didn't catch that thing first. On the third time I understood, oh, so this is what's happening. So fourth time when he asked me, I said, sir, I already have the garland. Because I brought it before itself and kept it here. Then he didn't like it. So it was afternoon actually. Pin drop silence. Sai Ram shed. It was one of the Sunday afternoon or something there. Or one of the days. Pin drop silence. For some reason, the pin drop silence. He is flaying his arms and he is, talking loudly to me. Then I thought, the optics of this doesn't look good for the devotees. They don't know what is going on there. They are seeing that two people in scarf are at each other. This is not right for Swami or his mission. So I said, okay, doesn't matter. Then quickly it flashed in my mind. Okay, I'm saying how Swami's teachings come to your help. What should I do at that moment? Then I remember that in Lord Rama's time, he had told Lakshmana that he's in an important meeting that he should stand at the door and not allow anybody inside. And if he allowed anybody inside, that would be pain of death for the meeting. So Lakshmana was on the door and the meeting was going on. That time Durvasa comes there. And he says that, allow me into this meeting. I have some urgent thing to share with Rama. And he says, no sir, I cannot allow you in. And he says, no, I must go. It is so important, I must go now. He says, sorry sir, if you want, you take my life. But you can't go in. Then Durvasa says, if you don't go, if you don't allow me, I will drown whole of Ayodhya, he says. This man is like, seriously, which is better? Let me go. Okay, if I disobey, I'll only be killed. Otherwise, the whole of Ayodhya will suffer. So he says, okay, you go. And then he goes. Basically what he went to tell Rama is, Rama, your avatar is done. It's time to wind up the show. And sure enough, because Lakshmana said he allowed him and pain of death, he also followed Rama and they walked into the Sarojini. So all angles were taken care. So I remembered that and I said, okay, what will happen? Swami will get upset with me, fine, no problem. At least his image in the public domain will not be disturbed. They are looking at two Sevadals fighting like idiots. So I thought this was very bad. So I moved out. Then after that I realized, okay, so after that I would just stand near the gate a little bit or a little away from the gate and all. I just did a little bit of like a little dance. I'll be here, then I'll be there, then I'll be this side. A little dance, okay? My leader didn't say anything, Swami didn't say anything, everything was okay. What I understood then was, and another occasion, the same leader, interestingly, he told me something. He said, no, we had some strike in HCL where I was working. And then, anyway, long story short, the leader told me something. Then Swami said, what are you doing on these days? And I told Swami, that's what I was told, so I'm going to do that. He said, no, he said, come here. Then I said, no, Swami, I was told like this. Hey, I am telling you, come here. Then he got angry. Then he said, ever nik ala chepparu, nak cheppu. He was like Narsimha Avataram right there. Then I thought, man, if I tell the name of this person, that man will be in cold storage for his life. So then I said, Swami, he said, tell me now. I said, Swami, I'll tell you, but on one condition. Promise me that you will not get angry with him. So I took that promise from Swami, that you will not get angry with this person. Because I know if he gets angry, that man is out. So he said, no. Then he said, okay, I give you my word. Then immediately, from Narasimha Avataram, he became like Prahalada Avatar, very calm. He said, what happened? Then I told him some name, don't worry about the name, it's not important here. And then he said, oh, Athan alage cheptadle, ikkada, he said. He said, he will tell like that only you come here. The thing in these two incidents, what I understood was, Swami will test you. He will see whether you tackle on somebody, whether you are trying to save your own skin, or whether you are okay to put yourself on the line. And if you put yourself on the line, he will take care of you. So this is what in the organization, so maintain that unity, that love, that harmony, that oneness. Yes, even in a small home, when you want to watch TV, one person wants to watch the sports, NBA game is going on, NFL is going on, something. Somebody wants to watch news, somebody else wants to watch that spiritual program. You cannot fill your house with TV screens everywhere. You have to adjust, right? So life is all about that adjustment. For that Swami first says, first understand, then adjust. If we understand that we are all fundamentally only one, we are only one, the one is here. These are all his reflections. Like Swami said, the sun from the sky shines, and there are so many pots with water in them, and in each pot the sun shines. So we are all those pots in which the sun, Sai Bhagavan, is shining on each one of us. He is the source, we are his reflection. But actually he says, you are not just a reflection, you are only me. You are me with a different name and form. He told me once, he said, he pointed to us, we were very close, he said, Chudu, ee deham, rendu deham, ee deham vere, and pranam okate. He said, you and I are separate bodily, but we are only one. I thought I was very special then. Then I realized that it's true for everyone. Then I understood that everybody is special, and everybody should be treated specially, because why? They are not just the name and form that you see on the outside, they are Swami shining through that name and form. It doesn't matter if one of those Swamis has an off day. As Swami says, you be the good Swami on that day, when the other Swami is having an off day. Be the good Swami, because it's only Swami. Swami says, give another example. You know, the teeth and the tongue stay in the same mouth. Sometimes accidentally, if your attention is not careful, the teeth bite the tongue. For that sake, do you knock your teeth off because they bit your tongue? You have to be more careful. That is all. Life is all about that adjustment, balance, understanding each other, and walking collectively to Him. And we'll close here. I know it's time almost. We'll close here with Swami's beautiful bhajan, which he sings. And before this thing, this is that love is my form, truth is my breath. Once actually I heard Swami in a video. He sang the first line of this song, then he stopped. And then he asked the audience, he said, no, this is not about me. This is about each one of you. You have to know that love is your form. Truth is your breath and bliss is your food. Your life is your message. That's what you need to know. And with that awareness, sing the song. So with that awareness with Swami, we'll just sing along with song and close out here. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. My life is my message, expansion is my life. My life is my message, expansion is my life. No reason for love, no season for love, no hurt, no death. No reason for love, no season for love, no hurt, no death. Prema Satya Ananda, Dharma Shanti Ananda. Prema Satya Ananda, Dharma Shanti Ananda. Shri Sai Satya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai. Shri Baba Satya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai. Shri Sai Satya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai. Shri Baba Satya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai. Love is my form, truth is my bread, bliss is my food. So the gift that we wanted to offer Swami, the birthday gift, is when we can say, love is my form, truth is my bread, bliss is my food, my life is my message, expansion is my life. No reason for love, no season for love. Swami said once to me, he gave me an instruction. I said, Swami, try chestanu. He said, try cheyaka, try, the dry aipotundi. Cheyali, he said. So also don't say, I will love. Say, I am love. Once I am love, then love all, serve all is automatic. We don't have to keep chasing this love all, serve all like the horizon. It's always receding. The more you approach the horizon, the more it goes farther and farther. But you become love. You don't have to run anywhere. You will automatically love all and serve all. You will not be different from Swami. That is the gift, at least on his 100th year of his existence, of his arrival, we have to give to him that we become love. Jai Sai.